In 1947, radar operators stationed at the U.S. Army's White Sands facility detected something unusual moving across the New Mexico desert. The military quickly scrambled the fastest plane to intercept the unknown target. When the pilot finally made visual contact, it was clear this was no conventional aircraft. The object accelerated effortlessly, pulling away beyond the reach of the pilot's plane. Reporting back to command, the pilot explained why he requested permission to engage. He said, quote, "Because I am flying the fastest thing that the United States can make, and he's beginning to leave me. Therefore, I know he's either a friend or an enemy, and if he's leaving me, he's an enemy. Therefore, I wish authority to shoot it down." Command approved the request. The pilot fired, bringing the craft down somewhere hidden from public record, an event quietly erased from official history. What the pilot found inside the wreckage was far more unsettling than a crashed aircraft. He discovered 3 small, lifeless beings, proof that this encounter was no accident or misidentification. This experience might have stayed buried forever if not for Boyd Bushman, a senior Lockheed Martin scientist with deep ties to classified programs. Bushman came forward decades later with photographs, documents, and first-hand claims that revealed glimpses of the secret technology being recovered and reverse-engineered behind the closed doors of places like Area 51.
I do have a top-secret clearance. I choose, however, for their purposes, not to use it because the intelligent ones of me and me, actually believe that a great deal of information should be lifted up from those dark recesses of Area 51 and moved over so people can see it.
In this video, we break down footage from the 30-minute interview recorded just before his death. The original video was uploaded by aerospace engineer Mark Q. Patterson. Though many versions have been removed over time, fragments of the original have survived, and it remains one of the most circulated and controversial UFO testimonies ever released. Among the files Boyd received were close-up photographs of UFOs about 38 feet wide, the length of 2 full-size school buses. He said they used anti-gravity, and while that term used to sound fringe, it lines up almost exactly with what we now associate with zero-point energy. Not force-based propulsion, but a shift in the environment around the craft. He was given material samples too: telluride, germanium, palladium, all found on the periodic table. Today, we use them in solar panels, semiconductors, and fuel cell tech.
Them through me to you is because my people have been feeding me for 13 years pictures, not only pictures of just plain pictures, but I gave them assignments, being a senior scientist, and they got a picture of up close and personal. This is a UFO which is ready to take off, and it is very up close. And they inform me that there are 3 elements which the UFO is contained. One is telluride, the other is germanium, the other is palladium. I did not say a metal once. And not only that, but the things pick up and fly using anti-gravity. Now, that's one picture. Here's another picture.
That wasn't all Boyd had to show. Beyond blurry images of crafts, he revealed photographs of small beings, clear, unsettling, and unlike anything earthly. These weren't sketches or artists' impressions, but images claimed to be real evidence, surfacing years after the original craft recoveries. Some saw these photos as undeniable proof that a deeper truth was being hidden, while skeptics dismissed them outright, claiming they were hoaxes because the aliens looked strikingly like a specific replica toy found in party stores. But think about this. If you were orchestrating a cover-up of monumental scale, what would you do? Would you do nothing and risk leaks? Or would you, knowing exactly what aliens looked like, deliberately release fake versions, replicas so close to the real thing that when the truth finally emerges, people will just point to the toys as proof it's all a fabrication? This is a classic disinformation strategy, muddying the waters with calculated fakes to keep the real hidden. Boyd's testimony challenges us not only to consider what's been uncovered, but also to confront the active campaign to conceal this knowledge, forcing us to question how deep the secrecy goes and what it means for public understanding.
I asked them to tell me about who was flying these things. He therefore said, fine, they're approximately 5 feet, 4.5 to 5 feet tall. They had one or two of them around it that were 230 years old, and we have a total of at least 18 that exist and operate with our facility as Teller set it up. Now notice the eyes are different, nose are different, but they do have 5 fingers, 5 toes, 2 eyes, and rather strangely enough, I asked him how they communicate. He says, well, it's like this, Boyd. You all of a sudden have a question in your mind. You walk into a room with one of them, and all of a sudden you find yourself giving the answer to your question in your own voice. They're able to use your own voice by telepathy to talk to you.
What Boyd revealed went far beyond just sightings. He talked about U.S. teams actively working to reverse engineer these crafts, a process that came at a tragic cost, with dozens of lives lost during dangerous testing. He knew the flood of disinformation had reached a point where most people would eventually shrug and turn away, exhausted by the endless confusion. Still, he chose to share what he knew. He laid bare a story rooted in real science and hard evidence, from the undeniable reality of UFOs to the emerging acceptance of zero-point energy. His revelations reveal not only what's been discovered, but the lengths taken to bury that knowledge, making sure the truth stays just out of reach, even when it's staring us in the face.